How's it going, everybody? In today's video, I'll be sharing with you what I'd buy from TNT Fireworks with a $400 budget. For those of you who might be new to these budget guides, I make these lists by picking a variety of individual fountains instead of an assortment pack, since TNT's assortments are overpriced and watered down. So this list will get you a much better show, I guarantee it. If you've bought assortments in the past, I recommend you try out this list this year and compare how good the show was compared to ones you've done in the past. With that being said, the way I'm going to structure this video is to start by listing and briefly talking about each firework I have in the list. Then I'll show the list in its entirety so you can save it, and then I'll share the order that I would personally light these off in. And then we'll finish with performance videos of each individual firework. Let's get into it. Starting off the list is two game modes totaling $4.80. This fountain is on clearance this year, and you really can't go wrong for only $2.40 each. Definitely a must-have if you're looking for some smaller fountains to start your show. Next is Orchid, which is buy one get one free this year for $6.99. Last year I believe they were $6.99 just for one, so half price each, just a classic smaller crackle fountain for a great deal. Third is Bottle of Sparks, another fountain that dropped in price. Last year they were $28.99 for two. This year they're sold individually for $8.70 each. One of my favorite smaller fountains from TNT. The crackle on these for their size is pretty insane. Very underrated fountain. Now another fountain that dropped in price is Magic Beans, going down from $19.99 last year to $9.99 this year. You can definitely see the theme this year with TNT's individual fountains. Prices have dropped a lot, which is great news. The effects you get from this one for only $10 makes it a must-have. Next is Eternal Eruption. This fountain is new for this year and is $29.99. It makes the list because of its super long burn time, going for about 3 minutes. A great one to add some length to your show. Next is one of my favorite fountains, that being Crypto, which was new for last year and is $29.99. It's one of the most popular fountains offered by TNT, and it's for good reason. I absolutely love the effects, the unique white glitter, the swimming snakes, and the strong crackle. It's just a great fountain overall. Back to another price drop fountain, down from $42.99 last year to $29.99 this year, we have Wildside. This is another one of TNT's best fountains overall, especially after that price drop. It's a minute straight of pure crackle and color with great height and intensity. Next is the Fruit Bowl Fountain 4-pack, which was new for last year and is $34.99. Really great value here for less than $10 a fountain. The color on these with the globule effects is really nice, and the crackle is pretty strong as well. Really like this pack from TNT. Next, we have the TNT Torch Fountain, which is $34.99. This one adds some nice variety to your show. If you stay tuned, you'll see how unique the willow and glitter effects on this one are. Really gorgeous fountain and a great one from TNT. Now, finally getting into the big boys, we have Living the Dream. This is a 500 gram fountain. It dropped from $74.99 last year to only $49.99 this year. This is an absolute must-have, point blank period. You have to try it. Make sure to stay tuned for the performance videos here, and you'll see why I gas it up so much. The intensity, height, and brightness of the crackle on this one is probably unlike any other fountain you've ever seen. 2 straight minutes of just straight up loudness and awesomeness, and for a great price this year as well. Next, I have 3 Centennial Fountains on the list. They're $19.99 each, so totaling $59.97 for the 3. You might be wondering why I'd recommend you buy 3 of the same fountain, and that's because of the immense value and great effects on this one. The spread of the angled crackle rivals fountains that are double the price. Overall, I think it's TNT's best fountain. You'll see in my show order in a minute. I recommend lighting 1 of these off, and then later in the show lighting off 2 at once, which makes for an insane wall of crackle. Stay tuned for the performance video of those 2 at once. Last, but certainly not least, the finale of this whole show is Opening Show for $99.99. Despite the price being quite high, in my opinion, on a higher budget like $400, this one is still well worth it. If you've never had this fountain in person before, you will be in for a treat. The spread of the crackle at the end is unrivaled by any 500 gram fountain available in California. It's pricey, but it's pricey for a reason. Just going by performance, it's one of the best fountains you can get, hands down. Alright, now that I've gone over everything individually, here's the list in its entirety, which barely fits on the screen. I'd recommend copying it down on pen and paper, or you can just screenshot it so you have it ready when you go to the stands. As you can see, the overall total is $400.38 before tax. And also keep in mind, I did not include sparklers or other novelties like crackling balls. I'm at the point personally where I just skip on those and I just spend my budget on the best fountains possible. But if you absolutely need sparklers and maybe a couple other novelties as well, and you need to keep it around $400 budget-wise, to make room, I would probably either skip out on Eternal Eruption or on Wildside. If you want a longer show, keep Eternal Eruption. If you're just going for pure intensity, keep Wildside. With that being said, let's get into the show order. Here's the show order I would personally use to keep the intensity climbing and your audience engaged. I guarantee you'll enjoy this show, especially if you're used to assortments. And now that we've gone over everything, I'm going to show you performance videos of each fountain on the list. I'm going to start from smallest to biggest, so to see the most intense and awesome fountains, make sure to stick around and watch until the end. Let's get into it. Starting off with the smallest on the list, we have Game Mode. Next up is Orchid. This video shows 2 at once. Next is Bottle of Sparks, one of my favorite fountains for this year. In about 15 seconds, you'll see how strong the crackle is.
Goes pretty high.
Next is Magic Beans. For only $9.99, you really can't go wrong. Very rare price point for a medium-sized fountain from TNT nowadays. And also some nice whistles in this one, which are also rare in TNT fountains. Next up is Crypto. You can see right here that white glitter effect I was talking about. Super nice. Here's that swimming snakes effect, which is also super unique and cool. And then bam, massive crackle on this one. Now we have Eternal Eruption. Like I said, this one goes for about 3 minutes, so super long burn time. Really good bang for your buck with this one and a variety of effects. Next up is Wild Side. You'll see from this video, it's just a minute straight of this effect with super strong crackle and good color as well. Really nice fountain. Next is the Fruit Bowl Fountain 4-pack. You can see how good the color on these are. This video is supposed to be all 4 fused up at once, but one failed to ignite. But you can see how nice those colors are and how strong that crackle is. I forgot to include this in my previous videos, but here's the green one individually after it failed to ignite with the other 3. Next up is TNT Torch, and man, you can just see from this video how beautiful those colors are in person. Just red, blue, green, the whole 9 yards. Very nice effects on this one and an awesome fountain. Another fountain like Crypto with that swimming snake effect as well. And at the end here you have some crackle as well. In my opinion, I would have just liked another like silent, colorful effect here, but this crackle isn't half bad. Next up is the classic double Centennial Fountain. At the end, you'll see the finale crackle on these is insane, especially with 2 at once. Makes for a really awesome spread.
Right here is where you get your money's worth right here. Just watch. Hold on. Here we go.
Next up is Living the Dream. You'll see what I was talking about earlier with how intense the crackle on this one is. The height, the spread, the brightness, and everything is just super crazy. super intense and loud in person, and one you definitely need to experience. Now for the finale opening show, probably the biggest, baddest fountain TNT has ever released. Starts off a little bit slower, but you'll see at the end what makes this one well worth it. And right about now is that huge crackle finish that will just blow away your audience. And with that, that concludes the 2024 edition of my $400 TNT Fireworks budget video. I hope this video helps you put together the best 4th of July fireworks show possible, and make sure to subscribe for more videos. See ya.